Captain Logan, and for the last couple years I've been doing a little review analysis show on YouTube called Superhero Rewind, where I've been endeavoring to review every superhero movie ever made. I've reviewed tons and tons of them. I've already reviewed over 80, but we're still not even kind of close to done yet. You know, when I first started the show, I was a little bit worried that I was going to run out too fast, and as time has gone on, I'm starting to worry more that I'll never be done, considering how many continue to come out every year. Just this coming summer, we have, I think, at least 4 coming out. And so I thought that some of our viewers might enjoy getting a little bit of a peek at my superhero movie collection. But being a big comic book fan, like I am, I'm also, of course, collecting comic book movies. So this is just about half of it right here. Next to me, you can't see it right now, but I'll show it to you. I also have the rest of it. And a couple years ago, it all fit on just this pest box. This actually is not the greatest way to display things, but it just looks really cool, so that's why I use it. I won't run through everything, of course, and if you're a superhero fan and if you're a movie buff, you probably know most of this stuff. But part of the reason I'm making this video is because I'm compiling a list. I'm trying to make a master list of every movie based on a comic book and every movie that is considered to be a superhero movie. And live action, direct-to-video, cartoons, and I'm even putting serials on that list. I'm not reviewing serials on Rewind, at least not yet. I may eventually, but I'm putting serials on that list also. The only thing I'm not including right now on my big master list are TV shows, just because I still have quite a few movies left to acquire. So part of the reason is because I'm working on a trivia book. I've talked about this a little bit on the channel before, but I'm really hip deep in the middle of it right now, and so I thought I'd mention it again. What I'm doing with the trivia book is it's a compilation of trivia questions about live-action theatrical major motion pictures. So if it goes well, and if the book sells well, I'd like to do a follow-up, and I'll probably do animated movies there, and I might even include animated TV shows. So it's all movies based on comic books. So it's not actually those other superhero movies either. It's comic book based movies, like 95 of them. And that's also including stuff coming out this summer, because I don't plan on releasing it until after I've seen the big summer blockbusters. So, I mean, that'll have the entire, Begins Dark Knight trilogy in the book, and it will also, include all the Avengers solo films, and then Avengers. The other reason I wanted to show you guys some of this stuff is because I just acquired a whole bunch more. Over Christmas, I got some Christmas money, and I bought just tons and tons of the comic movies that I was missing, and a lot of stuff I haven't seen yet, and you will see quite a few things here actually still in the shrink wrap because I haven't opened them yet. Let me go ahead and show you a few things here and there. One of my favorite box sets is the Batman Motion Picture Anthology, and that's because every movie is a double disc, and they have this really fantastic running documentary about the first 4 Batman films, the Tim Burton and Schumacher movies. And it's awesome how in-depth it is, and how even if it's a movie that was panned and not considered to be that great, like Batman and Robin, there's still a lot of material, and they talk about that, and they don't shy away from the fact that it was a bad movie. I think, actually, compared to the big Ultimate Superman box set, is actually quite a bit better. This includes a lot of really cool stuff, too. I thought it was neat that they put the Fleischer cartoons on here, and there's, I think, the first Superman movie has like 4 discs with a ton of special features, and then Superman 2 has like 3 discs, including I think the Donner cut. Yeah, but then you get to 3 and 4, and of course they're called special editions, but because they weren't really that successful, and actually since they were kind of bombed and kind of panned, there's not a lot of extra stuff on them. So I thought that was somewhat disappointing because there are a lot of deleted scenes and stuff with Superman 4, and as far as I know, they're not on here. It also has the documentary Look Up in the Sky, The Amazing Story of Superman, which came out right at the same time as Superman Returns, and the only thing I don't like about it, I mean, it's really comprehensive about the history of Superman and the history of Superman on film and on television, and it's quite good. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's too slanted, I think, toward, Superman Returns is amazing and is, bringing back Superman finally, and, considering that, A, I didn't really like that movie, and B, it wasn't successful enough to make another one, it feels a little bit glaring watching it now. I'm not real careful about which versions of things I buy anymore. At this point, for me, it's pretty much, as long as I have a factory disc and it has, the main special features, I'm good. I like to get special editions when I can get them. I know that sometimes there's extra stuff on Blu-rays that are on DVDs, and I've just been collecting DVDs for so long, I've just never switched over to Blu-ray. And since I'm trying to collect all this stuff in mass, it's a lot cheaper to get it on DVD. So I don't know. Eventually, finances and time and all that permitting, I'd like to maybe eventually get some stuff on Blu-ray. But a lot of that will just depend on what features they have that my stuff doesn't have. Because part of the fun thing about collecting this stuff is getting all the background. And I mean, that's how I research for Superhero Rewind and that kind of stuff. Sometimes if I don't have a special edition, I'll go seek it out and rent it or borrow it from somebody just so that I can get that extra background for the movies I'm reviewing. I also don't usually buy brand new movies when they first come out. I'll rent them or I'll get them on Netflix or something. First Class I made an exception for because I was really anchoring to have it, and it's such a good movie. It's really, really pretty. Of the stuff that came out this summer, so far all I've got are First Class and First Avenger Captain America, which I just bought the other day, and actually got a really good deal on that. The Howard the Duck Special Edition. Okay, so this just came out last year, and you can already find it used and sometimes new all over the place for $5. It's awesome, all the bonus features they put on it, and talking about how it was panned, and it's a little bit sad watching the producers of the film still taking up for it and still not seeming to really realize why it didn't perform. But anyway, it's fascinating culturally. It's not like it's a good movie or anything. We'll get to that one. Finally, have a copy of The Rocketeer. You'll notice that there are a few things I just got that I've actually done rewinds on already that I didn't already own that, again, I either rented or I borrowed from somebody, usually Vince. Sometimes you can find stuff in these really nice 4-film favorites collections, and these are not always the best because, again, they don't always have the extra special features, but if you just need the movies real quick, I got this when I needed to watch Blade 2 in a hurry. I might eventually try to get some of the special editions on this, but this does have the pilot. I want to say this fourth thing on here is the pilot for the short-lived Spike TV show. So that's kind of neat that that's on there also. I spent a little more on Swamp Thing than I usually do because it has this really cool holofoil moving cover, and I actually still have never seen this before. I'm doing my rewind on it soon, so we'll see how it is. I was kind of excited to find a factory copy of this. This is Return of the Batcave, the Adam West movie that came out in the early 2000s that was kind of a reunion film for the original Batman TV show, and also kind of a mock documentary. It's goofy, but it's cool, and it's one of the last things I think Gorshin did before he died. So it's I really liked it. If you're a fan of the 60s show, you'll probably at least enjoy bits of it. Finally got all 3 of the Punisher films, all 3 including the one from '89, which I've done a rewind on, and I was borrowing these from Vince, but now I have them finally, and I think Warzone I'll be doing sometime in the next few months. It's on my short list, and I think I'm going to bring Vince back to help me review that since he's the resident Punisher expert. So of course I had to get the Ultimate Cut for Watchmen so that I could do that review, and I don't always have all the different versions of things, especially if they didn't add very much back in. Like with Spider-Man, they did an extended cut that I think had like 5-10 extra minutes in it. Maybe it wasn't even that much longer. I haven't seen that. I'm not sure what even they added back in. It's not really a big deal to me to have that. But something like this, where they add like another 25 minutes and then the Ultimate Cut, which is 4 hours long with all the Black Freighter stuff put back in. I gotta have both of those. And I don't have a copy of the theatrical version, mostly because, this is complete, and this is if you want to skip the Black Freighter stuff. I just don't see myself watching the theatrical version. But if I did want to, they've got a digital copy on both of these, actually, of that version, so I guess I have it that way. And then you'll see some TV stuff here. Again, I'm not collecting everything of TV. I do want to eventually get all of Bruce Timm. That's something I'm working on. So I have all 4 seasons of Batman the Animated Series. And here's all of the Powerpuff Girls. That's one big box set. One of the coolest box sets I have, I think, because there's so much bonus material through all of it. They really went above and beyond. And for $50 for the whole series, and that was the original standard price. You can probably get a little bit cheaper now. It was absolutely worth it. Eventually, I'd like to get all of the original Ninja Turtle series. I've got some of it. I've got the seasons I like the most. This is 4, 5, and 6, and what I don't like about these is that all the boxes, there's no standard boxes for these, and some of them are kind of cumbersome. Like, okay, it's kind of neat that his head protrudes toward the front, but it's a little problematic when you try to put it on your shelf and put other things with it. It takes up too much space. This one... This one looks like a pizza box and is nice and short and fits nicely on the shelf. I don't know why they couldn't all look like that. And of course, here is the live-action Tick, one of my very, very favorite shows. I like the animated series better. I've always said that. I don't have any of the factory animated series right now. They've never put out the 3rd season. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. And they've left out an episode on each of the 1st and 2nd seasons. I have all of it bootlegged. And I want to get the factory stuff eventually, but I was kind of waiting it out, hoping that the 3rd box set would have those other 2 episodes on it, maybe, to balance it out, because the 3rd season was shorter than the first 2. That was always my theory, but it's been a long time, and now it's kind of looking like it'll never happen. So, back to comic book movies that aren't superhero movies. This is all stuff that you won't see probably on Superhero Rewind, or at least for a really long time. I may eventually start reviewing just straight comic book movies on Rewind when I'm done with all the superhero stuff, but who knows when that'll be. But this is all stuff that I am watching for the trivia books. So here's Wanted and Surrogates, The Losers, Ghost World, a lot of this stuff I've never seen. Road to Perdition I've still never seen. Barbed Wire. Red I got for Christmas for my wife, and From Hell I just watched for the first time and found that really interesting. Here is all my animated stuff. I've got quite a bit of the DC Direct line. I'm missing a couple things here and there, but I have the majority of it. Here is one of the weirdest things I think they put out, and this is a double feature of The Batman vs. Dracula and the Batman Superman movie. I don't know why you would put a movie from each of those shows together on the same disc, but there they are. This is one I may do a rewind on in its entirety. This is the Spawn HBO series, and this is the whole thing in one box set. And then for you fans of Counting Crypt Freaks, I've got 1 through 7 of Smallville, and I have been waiting on the last 3 for a couple reasons. First of all, I really just don't like the end of the show. I don't like the last 3 seasons really at all. There's some things about 8 that I thought were kind of interesting, but for the most part, none of that really worked for me. But we'll get there eventually with Counting Crypto Freaks. So I've got so much time. I'm not going to need them until I get there on Crypto Freaks, and I'm still trying to get through season 1. Oh, and also Birds of Prey, which is a show that I'd also like to maybe do a single video on at some point. So I've made this giant list of every superhero movie and comic book movie I can come up with that exists, and that's part of the reason I wanted to make this video, to let you know about the list. I put it on the website, wearegeeksnotnerds.com, and I encourage you to take a look at it for a couple of reasons. The first is I've done my best to scour the internet and figure out what exists, but I know there's got to be stuff that's out there that I haven't found. The lists of comic book movies and superhero movies on Wikipedia are incomplete. There's stuff I thought of that weren't on those list, and so I know there must be things that I'm not thinking of. So it would be a huge help if you think of anything that you have, or that you've heard of, or that you've seen, to send me a personal message and let me know about it, so that I can try to make this definitive master list. And so again, personal message me or send me a message over the website. And the other thing is I've color coordinated this list so that it shows you what I own and what I'm missing. Some folks have sent us some movies in the mail, and I wanted you guys to know what I had in case anybody ever wanted to send me anything, so that you didn't send me a duplicate. If you do want to send me anything, it's Geekvolution, P.O. Box 14183, Lenexa, Kansas 66285. And thanks a lot for watching. I will have a review of Swamp Thing up for you in about 2 weeks on January 13th. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.